like it. We're going to record now too, so it's all going to be on tape. So yeah, it's kind of an overcast Monday here in San Diego. Kind of gloomy.
Kind of gloomy.
It was a nice weekend though.
Yeah.
I actually did some yard work on my one tomato plant. My one tomato plant looks so good.
Well, with the drought, we can only afford one tomato plant.
One tomato.
I know. I have to water with a little water. Anyways. All right, everybody have a good weekend.
Yes.
Ready to talk about some good books this week? I think there's lots of good stuff. Andrea, I'm finally starting The Cutting Room. I know it's an old book. It's so right up my alley.
I know, I told you.
It is. I blew through like the first 50 pages, like, oh, this is my kind of book.
Yeah, Rilke is such a great character.
Yeah.
Who's the author?
Louise
Welsh. As you can see back here, the new one is up there. So
it's so basically this character, she was a debut novelist called The Cutting Room back in 2002.
yeah,
And Andrea was kind to send me that and the new one. So 20 years later, she's bringing the character back. So I haven't gotten to that book yet, but I'm loving the first one. So
That's fantastic.
and
You talked about this a couple of weeks ago, right?
Andrea did, yeah. I'm late to the game. I'm late to the game, Gabe. Late to the game.
all right.
Hey,
you know,
too much to read.
20 years too late. But
20 years too exactly 20 years too
Who's
late to
counting?
this game. But I'm gonna read it because I want to read that one and the new one back to back because it's like so good. I
That's
know
the thing.
so much to read.
Well, that's the good thing about cult classics too. They're there for you.
yeah.
And it's a good, I love my dark stuff, and it's a good one. All right. It's gonna go Amanda, Andrea, Gabe, Tom. So Amanda, take you and your pineapple, take us away.
I have to try a new fun little what is we call it screen for the summertime. So I cannot share.
Jules disappeared.
Right.
Maybe Amanda will let us share.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Damn it.
She's
She's
still
new,
there.
remember.
I'm still here. I don't know
Be
what
forgiving.
happened. I don't know. Hold on. I'm here. I'm
No, you're
here.
back.
Oh, Tom, you're the only one without glasses. Even my pineapple has glasses.
Oh, I could put some on. I have some.
Have I ever seen you wear glasses? Never.
Never, no. But I do have them. It
You're too
appears-
vain. The vanity.
Exactly.
You should be able to share now, Amanda.
Okay. Sweet.
Jeez.
There we go.
Technology challenge today.
It's okay. We all have our moments. All right. So yes, me and Pineapple here to present books coming out tomorrow. So first one up, Elin Hildebrand's The Hotel Nantucket. So of course, here we go, brand new novel. And of course, Elin is the queen of beach reads, which is perfect for this summertime. And it's set in her hometown of Nantucket. The book centers around a storied hotel full of secrets. Once a Gilded Age gem, now turned into a budget-friendly lodge with a little unique cast of characters all working together to bring back the hotel, bring it back to life, and bring it back into the 21st century as it overcomes its scandalous past. So there you go. Of course, Elin's books, always fabulous to read. Nothing better than reading one of these on the beach, which is where I wish I could be right now reading this. So here you go. Hotel Nantucket from Elin Hildebrand, out tomorrow.
She is awesome. And isn't she retiring from writing books?
Really?
Yes, I heard. I think we have like one or two more.
Yeah.
That is
She's
such a rare thing for an author to walk away.
I know. Don Winslow did it. Now Ellen Hildebrand's did, you know.
A lot of authors say they're going to retire, but then
We'll
like,
judge in a few years.
I think it's in their blood, and it's like I think that
That's the thing.
yeah, they're like,
think-
I
should do
think
something.
Stephen King even retired once, didn't he?
It could be CIA. We don't know.
Mm.
They might
All
have
right. We have who recommended? Okay, Kim on here just finished Search.
Search Michelle Hunovan.
Yes, and so
Oh,
she loved it. So whoever
Excellent.
recommended it, she
Oh,
loved
that's
that.
great.
So that's yours, Tom.
Yep, that's me.
Awesome.
Nice
Okay.
to hear.
Okay, Amanda knew it was your book. I didn't. I'm obviously not. Anyways. And then wait a second. So Beth is wanting, so Beth wants to know if we'll talk about some books that happened in the last 5 years because of life just didn't get the love they should have had.
Oh,
So maybe we'll have kind of a theme one coming up here. If we look out and see that there's something that maybe there's a lighter week that's coming, sometimes maybe in July. So it might be a light
July
week.
or August, yeah.
Yeah, there might be a light week that we could do a resurrect the last 5 years. Not our favorite books of ever, because that can go back further than that. But yeah, there's some good stuff that kind of maybe missed the radar.
there's a lot
I
of
mean,
good stuff.
we could do the 80s, we could do the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. Go back to
There's a lot
my-
of good books that got overlooked. They get overlooked every year. So
Every
Right.
year.
Yeah.
Some of us been going back, we can go back decades.
Decades.
And,
But I
But I
think that-
alive for the full 80s, just saying.
But I think that
Really
the
partial.
pandemic really crushed some things that should have had some highlights. So maybe we'll do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love
Maybe
that.
we'll pick a week in July and do that. Okay, Andrea, sorry. Didn't mean to like usurp you there,
Okay,
but
okay.
you go.
I want to talk about this fine book out tomorrow. Also a poet by Ada Calhoun. She's the best-selling author of Why We Can't Sleep. And this is a completely different vein. This is a departure from that. It's just an amazing memoir tracing her fraught relationship with her father and their shared obsession with the great poet Frank O'Hara. Particularly O'Hara's lunch poems, which I know I have a well-thumbed copy in my poetry bookshelf over yonder. Someday I'll maybe do a tour of my bookshelves around the house and my
That would
bar.
be good.
Okay.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is sort of, I would say, in the vein of Small Fry. It looks at a troubled father-daughter dynamic, but it also really looks at art and the writing history of the New York New School and New York City from the 60s to the present day. And Calhoun's father, who's the longtime art critic at the New Yorker, Peter Sheldall, I think that's his name. Is that how you say it? Sheldall. Anyway,
Don't ask me to pronounce people's names.
That's how I would say it, but I don't know either.
yeah, I think so. Well, he was working on a biography for years and years and years, a biography of Frank O'Hara, but they were also friends. They all schmoozed together. They, went to parties together. I'm sure they, did a lot of drinking and perhaps a little, weed smoking at these parties in the on the West Village and the East Village, I'm sure. But anyway, this all starts from her father's work. He was working on this biography of O'Hara and had all these tapes that he interviewed a bunch of people in the New School, all those writers and artists from that period. And so she found this treasure trove at her parents' apartment and said, can I take a look at this? I really want to just complete this project. And she just felt like called, like she felt a calling to complete this work that her father didn't do. But what ended up happening is that this transformed into a book about that process and with like great excerpts from these tapes that she discovered. But it also deals with her relationship with her father, reflecting on that, and her own writing and her creative process. So this is just a multifaceted book, and it's extremely well written, just kind of unbelievably great. And I defy anybody to put it down who's interested in New York, the Village scene back then, the New School, or Frank O'Hara. Susanna Callahan of the Times says that this book contains multitude. multitudes, a celebration of one of America's greatest poets, an ode to New York of today and yesterday, an investigation into legacy and memory, a meditation on art and writing, a humane yet fiercely candid look at the anxiety of influence, a memoir about Calhoun's fraught but fruitful relationship with her father, blah, 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 blah. Just amazing, the early reviews for this book. I don't see how this is not going to make a lot of bestseller lists. It will be up for nonfiction awards during that season coming up. It's just gorgeous.
Yep.
Ada Calhoun, also a poet. Frank O'Hara, My Father and Me.
Also a poet, also will be at Warwick's.
That's right.
On June 29th. I had to put in the, so if you're in San Diego and you're watching this right now, come by and see us on the 29th, because Ada will be there at the store. So can't wait for
Very
that.
exciting. She knows everybody, you know, so it would be great to just, you know, have like, I think that the discussion afterwards will be really fascinating.
Well, yeah, and I think, okay, she was saying something because we met her at the Kaliba thing, and she was saying something about how she, I think, all those papers she donated, or there's some connection with the San Diego Library. I'm not sure what's gone on with the collection of papers that she's done with them. So
We'll have to ask her about that.
Yeah, that's a little something, a mystery that we'll have to solve between that. And then Kim also read, I think these are both your books, Tom, too. I know This Time Tomorrow is also your book. Is his name George Floyd your book too?
Which one?
His name is George Floyd. Is that your book too?
Oh yeah.
Kim's been reading Kim, and
Well,
Facebook's
just wait
been
till my
reading
new
Paul.
book's in a few minutes.
Oh, wow, that Kim, you got a
More
film.
good ones.
I love it. All right, Gabe, what you got for us?
I got fun stuff. Got a couple of really fun novels this time around. Where did you go? Uh-oh. You know, I had trouble the other day when I did this. Sorry. Where's my screen?
Where am I? Who am I?
Oh. Give me have a second here.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. Well, I could
It
also,
moves.
whose book was the octopus book? Because Sarita liked the octopus book. That's you, Gabe?
Yeah.
Yep. Sarita
Bright,
liked that
beautiful,
one.
bright creatures. Bright,
Yes.
beautiful creatures.
Yes. That's on my list too to read. See, I can't catch up.
That's just a really touching, sweet book. But it's all good in that one. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how I clicked things off, but it went away. And the first book I'm going to talk about is More Than You'll Ever Know, which was out last week. And I had a lot of books to talk about, and I really liked this book a lot. Actually, the first two books I'm going to present today are books that I picked up. And this one, it's one of those, I hesitate to say one of the best thrillers I've ever read, but it really is a really great thriller, and the way it picks up and the structure of the book. It is a woman, Laura, who lives in Mexico. Laura Rivera, 1985, marries Andrew Russo in Mexico, even though she's already married in the States to Fabian Rivera, who she has two twin sons with. And one day, one of the husbands finds out about the other husband and kills the husband. The cousin from Texas comes down and kills the husband from Mexico. And it just takes off from there. Really well done, really well written, really well structured, as I said. You fast forward to 2017 and trolling through the internet, Cassie Bowman, who's a true crime writer, stumbles across some of these headlines, and she starts to, it captures, you know how writers do, right? Jeff Parker, he has a stack of papers, and every once in a while he tears through headlines and looks for a topic to write about. So she's got this stash of headlines, and this case pops up, and she gets more and more intrigued and starts digging into what actually happened here. And so the book is told in two parallel narratives, 1985 and 2017. And you get on board this ride and you just go. And as I said, I picked this up. We picked things up blindly. They're just blank manuscripts, and we sort of troll through them and pick them out. And you read a handful of pages and you go on to the next thing. But this is a book that I just couldn't put down. It really is. So it's a huge print run for us. We got some great quotes. The Washington Post gives us a great quote. Luis Alberto Urrea, who definitely knows the two worlds of across the borders, both South and North, gave us a really great quote, which I think speaks to what I'm talking about, the quality of this book. And the Good Morning America book club, which is not the most primetime book club, I guess, but they jumped on this right away as well. They saw something really good. So we got a great package. I think if you want to pick this up and look for it, because it is, as I said, one of the better types of books like this that I've ever read in my life. So I'm really been waiting to present this.
I actually like the Good Morning America picks. I know they're not like, but I like them.
They're not the most sexiest usually,
but they're solid. They're always
they're solid.
They always pick a solid good book. So
Yeah.
I kind of follow the thread. I follow Jenna Reese and Good Morning America. I always look and see what they're doing. So
And Oprah.
I know I always forget about how do I forget about Oprah?
'Cause she's
The
not Reese,
woman who
but-
started it all.
That's right.
And
And I don't give Oprah enough due. God, I need to change that. All
she
right.
gets her due. Everybody
But I
else.
love, but the Good Morning America picks and Today's Show, they seem like they look for authors we haven't heard of. So
And I
they're
love
always
that.
elevating authors that I've never heard of. So suddenly I'm like, this is someone new I need to follow.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I love that I do love that. So, all right,
Yes,
Tom, what do you
I
got?
would be talking about one of those authors, my next pick. So thank you for that. Like,
Oh, yes.
All right,
Yeah.
something to, all right, it's another
Little teaser,
This show
another
is just full of
teaser.
teasers.
checks in the mail, Tom.
So my first book is not by someone you've never heard of. It's not from someone who, is just starting out. This is an old, experienced master, Geraldine Brooks, and she doesn't publish very often. New book is Horse. She publishes every 5-6 years if we're lucky. So hopefully we all know Geraldine Brooks, 6 novels. She won the Pulitzer Prize for March. And she's a master of the historical novel. She takes what she's best at. What I love about her is when she takes different time frames in one story and braids them together. And so this is like, for me, it's like one of the very best Geraldine Brooks. I love this book. So maybe it's because I knew nothing about horse racing and the history of horse racing. So Lexington is the famous horse that is at the center of this book. That's the horse of the title. So she takes you first to Kentucky, 1850, just before the Civil War. And the character here is Jarrett, who is an enslaved groom to horses. And so it's Jarrett's relationship to Lexington that's really at the center of the story. Then it's 1954 New York City. The painting that has been done of Lexington makes its appearance, a gallery owner in the 1950s New York, which we were just talking about, that period of New York City. And then a contemporary story of a Smithsonian scientist and a Nigerian American art historian who the art historian finds the painting, or maybe it's the painting, and then the scientist is looking at the bones of Lexington. So from these 3 different stories, she slowly but surely brings them all together to tell the story of Lexington, the history of how enslaved people were really central to horse racing in that period, that's when horse racing was at its zenith, probably. It was so popular. And so I think overall the project is to tell the story of race in America from the Civil War to the present through this horse and through these characters. And she's just a master. She pulls all of that off through her research, but I mean, she's done an unbelievable amount of research, but just through her storytelling. So it's Horse by Geraldine Brooks, but I thought I would mention, I mean, I love all of her books. My favorite might be People of
Mine
the
too.
Book. Oh, isn't
Mine
it great?
too. It is
And
my
we-
favorite book of hers.
I love that. And so we have so this was the original hardcover, probably the paperback too, but
Right.
Penguin has jacketed all of its paperbacks to kind of match the look of Horse and just freshen up all of her books. So that's People of the Book in paperback.
I'm just glad you mentioned, because I was going to say People of the Book. Still my
Yeah, that's
favorite
one that you
Geraldine.
haven't, like, again, books you have, if you've never read it, it's brand new to you. And also the personal story of Geraldine Brooks, the grief over the loss of her husband, who we also, maybe more than just me, published, Tony Horowitz, and he passed away. So this book comes out of that period of her life too. So couldn't recommend it more highly.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's a one, and so we are hosting her with a bunch of other stores on the 23rd of June,
Right.
which I guess is next week, with Michael Lewis. She's going to be in conversation with Michael Lewis.
Oh, that's right. She's good friends with Michael Lewis. That's right.
Yeah. So I think that, and somebody's saying on here that People of the Book is amazing. Yeah, Kim, it is really amazing. My favorite, but yeah, so she, yeah, so that should be a great conversation. So, and that's actually one of those events that's free to join. So you can go, but we also have signed copies.
I was
of
about to
books.
say, I bet there are signed copies at the
There
store.
are signed copies. So there are signed copies. So if you want to sign, a signed Geraldine Brooks is kind of one of those things that she's going to be in the lexicon of authors that we're going to have for even when she leaves us.
That's
We're
awesome.
talking about Geraldine Brooks.
For sure.
Okay. We've taken a long time on round one, but that's okay. Lots of good stuff. Okay, Amanda, round two.
Round two. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Still a ride by Kenny Loggins.
All right.
All right, so here we go. Kenny Loggins, of course, an icon in the music world. So this book covers everything from his Loggins and Messina days with classics like Danny's Song and Your Mama Don't Dance, to his Grammy Award-winning songs, What a Fool Believes and This Is It, to his movie soundtracks for Footloose, Caddyshack, and of course, Top Gun, because that just came out this
Go
week.
into the danger zone, baby.
Dun, dun, dun,
I know.
dun. Go into the danger zone.
So that is just a little snippet of what will be featured in this book that spans his, his career. So super excited for this one. Yes, and of course timed perfectly for Top Gun. Still have not made it yet, but it is on my to go watch list because that's what you got to see in person. And I sing all the time right now, Highway to the Danger Zone, because why not?
Why not? And it's actually
timing.
my husband and I did go see it in the movie theater, and it is worth going to the movie theater.
Oh, I know.
It's like the jets. That's like your chair kind of vibrates when the jets go. It's
Because they're
actually-
real jets. They didn't use CG. They're real
Oh,
jets that they use.
I know. Gotta love Tom
I-
Cruise for that.
I have to confess, I never saw Top Gun
Oh,
until a few weeks ago.
I was gonna
And
say,
so
turn in your man card, buddy.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm good now. And now I want to see the new one in the theater.
Okay, well, here's the deal though. And this is the thing when we go back. I mean, we are not gonna we're not gonna get into that conversation. There's some things about the 80s movies though that you kind of cringe at a little bit.
Oh, I was cringing a lot.
There's a little like when we watch like 16 Candles and some of that stuff, and some of the
Yeah.
John Hughes movies, there's lots of cringeworthy. It was cringeworthy back in the 80s, but now it's just like super cringeworthy. But it's still, if you
so
come
good. So
in-
good.
I'm still-
I
yeah.
just
was
watched
funny
it
in the
again 2
80s.
weeks ago in preparation. Then it's on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah.
I watched it again in preparation. So
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I have to say, it was entertaining, and that's
Yeah.
what
And that's what we
that's what a
That's what
good
you need.
movie. That's what a good movie does. Is it entertainment? So it was
You
entertaining.
want to promote militarism? Okay.
All right, Gabe.
It's Highway to the Danger
Okay,
Zone.
Debbie Downer.
Well, my son and I actually went to go see. My son is 38. We went to go see Top Gun when it came out in 3D a couple of years ago, or more than a couple of years ago, but 3-4 years ago, it came out in 3D, and we were there at the big screen watching it in 3D. They did what they could.
It's good. Yeah, because
The danger zone, man.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
nice.
It
All
all
right,
goes back to
Andrea.
Kenny Loggins. in the
All
end.
right, and it all comes back to Kenny Loggins. All right, Andrea, take us out of this mansplaining.
Don't worry.
The
I'm not
danger
going to
zone.
I'm not going to talk about that movie.
Take us out of the toxic masculinity.
Or my
I
man
will
card.
say one thing about that movie.
Give
I
over Tom's man card, turning in his man card. It's a
Somebody-
rough crowd today.
There was that sensitive volleyball game.
Yeah,
saw-
it was
yeah,
very sensitive.
right. They just wanted to see the girls in their short shorts. Give me
Yeah.
a break.
No, it was the dudes, man. Lots of
No
shirtless
girls there.
dudes.
Oh, really?
Okay.
See, okay,
Yeah.
it's been so long since I've seen that movie, I don't even remember.
Ah, you
Yeah.
did see it.
Yeah.
Of course, I was a child.
Ouch.
Child
I was a grown
star.
man, but okay.
Anyway,
Anywho,
I want to talk about City of Likes. And this is by Jenny Mullen. And she's a best-selling author. This is a fiction debut. And it's $27 hardcover. This is my advanced copy. And it comes out from Nacelle Books, one of our new publishers. And Nacelle Productions also has a film arm. So who knows? We might see this on the screen at some point. But basically, this is it has a lot of commercial appeal, and I actually do think that this has all the hallmarks of a commercial bestseller. And Julie can tell you that the early sales, even before the pub date and the clamoring for it, is going, it seems like it's on a course towards bestsellerdom. It's got tinges of dark comedy throughout. And our protagonist is navigating modern motherhood in the city while slowly coming to the realization that there are perils of social media addiction, and she's starting to feel those. And so it's got humor, drama, and definitely a very topical exploration here. She is the New York Times bestselling author of titles like I Like You Just the Way I Am, that was from St. Martin's, and Live Fast, Die Hot, and that's from Doubleday. And they both hit the New York Times bestseller list. So I think that we're going for a hat trick here with your debut novel. Not something that I usually present. This is not the genre that I usually present, but you've got to give credit where credit's due, and this is going to be a perfect beach read too.
Yep. I was just gonna say beach read for sure.
Yeah. So on Friday she was on The View. She's going to be on Rachel Ray. She's going to be on The Talk. And this was a June pick for the Good Morning America books group.
Book club.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
Hey,
I'm
we're
not
just game.
watching-
You're on it tonight.
I love how out of your, depth you are with this, but it's great. It's a different kind of thing.
It's embarrassing. Okay. I mean,
No.
I'm very literary, and I've got the literary picks. I don't even know what Good Morning America is. Okay. I just see it in my notes. I don't know. I don't watch TV. So,
Who's-
I didn't even know that the volleyball game was with men. Okay?
Sweaty man.
The hottest men.
Am I blushing? I think I might be blushing.
I
Oh,
would pay to see that.
I know. We're seeing it live on TV.
Who is this publisher?
Nacelle Books. They're new with us. They have it's a pop culture media company basically.
Yeah.
They do podcasting, music publishing, distribution, marketing, management stuff, and production in Hollywood. So they've got partnerships with Netflix, Disney, HBO. I mean, everybody basically.
Yeah.
And they have a relationship with this author, and thought that they would love to publish this new one from her. And I think they're doing a great job on the publicity. That's obvious.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
So-
no, the fact that she's on all those shows is amazing. And she's gonna be, I'm getting lots of plugs for events today with you guys. She will be at Warwick's
Yes, she will.
on June 24th. But I think we might be close to sold out. There might be some walk-in seats that you can get just on a first come, first serve, but we do have capacity issues. But yeah,
Yeah,
it is a
and
popular one.
it really is. I mean, like, this is okay. Now I'm just gonna talk about you and your amazing ability to gauge how many books you need for an event. You're rarely off mark.
Rarely,
Okay.
rarely.
But Julie did have to come back for a supplemental order on this one.
But I did. I had to come back
You
for
did.
for
You
more
thought-
books.
You smelled fire and you put it out. You smelled the smoke and you put it out before it,
Give me more.
You felt the heat.
It was hot, man.
yeah, before it became a conflagration, you put it out, you ordered up extra books. They're en route, I believe, this afternoon. So that's good.
Yeah, it is a hot one.
Right.
So I think it's going to be a really fun, good summer read. I think it's got all of the things. It checks all the boxes.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I just love that. All right, Gabe.
She's adorable. She's married to Jason Biggs.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to Google him.
Oh, yeah, that's
From,
so funny that you were Googling. You're like, okay, that is hilarious. I love it. Thank you.
Oh, American Pie
That's
guy?
American Pie guy.
American Pie guy.
Right.
Oh my God. Okay. She's okay. This is hilarious.
They're a cute couple. I
Yeah,
know that
they
because
are.
I watched her on The View.
Oh, well, okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Can we just stop for a minute and talk about Gabe watching The View?
I watched
Can we
The
just
View.
have a conversation about that?
Just breakfast.
Hey,
Breakfast
Tom,
time.
you missed your give.
I know.
your
I
man
didn't want to
card.
go
You
there
missed
again.
It. You
I
missed
didn't.
it.
He just handed me his man card with that, but we're handing it back and forth.
Back and forth. All right. Okay, Gabe. Go.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not even gonna talk about my other things. All right,
know.
number 2 book. So this was another book from the summer season that I just picked up and was like, it's a really commercial novel. It's about counterfeit purses and knockoffs, and another book I just couldn't pick down. Luckily, the manuscripts were available early in the season, and I had the luxury of time at that point. But this is a really, really fun, fast pace. Also got picked for a book club. This is a Reese book club. Also went on sale last week. We had like 6 books picked by book clubs on our summer list. There'll be more. But it's really funny. Ava Wong always plays it safe, straight-laced, law-abiding Chinese-American lawyer. Her husband's a successful surgeon. She's got a young son. Everything's working out really nicely for her. But somehow or other, she manages to get involved with this woman, Winnie Fang, who strong arms her into getting involved in her counterfeit purse scheme. And it just, that's the jump off point, and it bounces back and forth from the States to China, where there are factories, and it's all out in the open over there. You want a Birkin bag, you can pick one up for $3,000, which is better than the 45 that it costs or whatever it is. So they're still kind of expensive. They're still kind of well made, but they're just complete knockoffs. They have like malls apparently of like shoe knockoffs and purse knockoffs. I think I might have bought a pair of Nikes that were knockoffs because I think they actually got produced while I was waiting on. So I was like, I think I got scammed, man. And I was talking to my son. It's like, it's a big business. It's fake sneakers and fake purses. And this book takes you down that rabbit hole, and it is super entertaining, and it's really smart because our author is really smart. The comedy is sharp. It's stylish. And like I said, I just kept reading. I just kept turning pages because the pace was really fast and furious, and you want to know what goes on next. And it doesn't take but a couple of pages to get the ball rolling. So a lot of fun. As I said, these 2 books were 2 of the books of this summer season that I really picked up really early on and just like chomped on through because they were really, really well done and just really entertaining, which is why we read. It's
Right. And I haven't read Counterfeit, but I think Reese Witherspoon picking it. It's got all the makings to me of what would be a really good movie. Am I right on that?
yeah.
That it's just like the whole like counterfeit. I mean, the Crazy Rich Asians kind of.
It's like I
thing
read
going
that
on.
book Bullet Train. and that was very cinematic. Bullet Train. The
Yes.
author was very.
Reese who? Is that some influencer?
What's that?
Don't tell her. Don't tell her. She
Don't tell her.
doesn't-
Andrew's better in the dark. Keep her there.
Me
Well,
too,
and,
Ellen.
and I love that the review you showed was by Grace Lee, who was that Portrait of a Thief that I talked about a couple months ago.
Couple months
So
ago.
it's like we're learning about all these new authors here on Tea Time, one after another.
We
It's-
are, hey, talk with Andrea, the only influencer you need to know is all of us on
That's
on this Zoom right here. We are the influencers.
We
I
touch
do
tens
think
of people.
I maybe need to like bone up on all this stuff.
We
though.
wouldn't have that Reese on this program if she asked.
Precisely. It's like who? Who?
How do you spell that?
She's a blogger, some obscure blogger.
Blogger. All right, Tom, rescue us.
Okay,
In case Reese is watching, we don't want to.
I know. We
Insult her.
love Reese. Please, Reese, come
No,
on.
we were just
come
playing
on Tea
Reese.
Time.
We're just kidding.
We were just
Um,
playing.
So my
Great
next book,
respect, Great respect.
my next book is it's a first novel, but it's by a very, in a way, very famous person. So but we probably never heard of him. Carter Bays, the author of The Mutual Friend. He is the creator of How I Met Your Mother, or the co-creator of How I Met Your Mother.
Oh,
So he has spent, the last, I think 20 years in the world of TV. And then that series was maybe 9 seasons. And if my daughter is any gauge, she's watched it, I don't know, 5, 6 times, the
It's a good show.
entire thing.
Yeah.
So he knows comedy, he knows character. And I love, but I have to admit, I don't know if I'm like any of you, but I can sometimes be a snob when it comes to books by TV writers. Sometimes that can happen to me. And that happened in this case. So I was late coming to this book, but it is an absolute delight. I loved it. It's hilarious. So it's set in New York City, big cast of characters, and it takes a while for the cast of characters to sort of come together. But I promise, when they do, it is so satisfying. And maybe that I never watched How I Met Your Mother, but I have the feeling it also was sort of the same thing. All these different disparate characters, but they, it all came together. So Alice, it's also, I love that he said it in 2015, before everything changed in 2016. So he doesn't have to deal with any of that change. So, but 2015, we were still, the book is a lot about, it's about, as we say here, life, love, loss, ambition, spirituality, people dealing with all these things without ever looking up from their phones, because it's a lot about how we live double lives. Basically, we live the in real life, and then we live the in our phones life. So it's these great cast of characters, and very much a really good New York City book. There's so much to recommend it, and the reviews are incredible. So this is from Kirkus. The reviewer says, "What's surprising is how beautifully written it is and how deftly the author balances humor and heartbreak. He writes with real compassion that never turns sentimental, and the structure of the book, told from the point of view of a mysterious, omniscient narrator, is ingenious. This is a rare thing, an original, intelligent novel that's not just a perfect summer beach read, but one that deserves serious awards consideration as well. Put down your phone and pick it up." So this is, and in a way, it's kind of a sleeper. I don't see it's not going to get a ton of reviews because reviewers are just as snobby as I was. But for just readers, I think readers are going to love this book this summer. So The Mutual Friend, Carter Bays.
love it. I think I saw that he was at Broman's.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, because
so-
his office is right across from Broman's.
Yeah, so I saw that he was there. So when you put it, was like that looked familiar, and it's like, oh yeah, I think he was at Broman's.
Right. As soon as you hear How I Met Your Mother, everyone knows, right?
Yeah, love it. All right, lightning round. Let's go. We're taking our sweet time today. All right, Amanda.
All right, so I will be quick, I promise. So today I am bringing you a book from Lonely Planet. Now that the world is beginning to open up a bit more and travel is coming back. Here we have Eat France. So this book is all about eating in France. There we go. So it covers a wide range of things such as etiquette when you're dining out, if you're going Dutch, if you're dining in a French home, and really beautiful pictures throughout. Talked about meals, different kinds of food, what's traditional for breakfast, lunches, things like that. And then also we'll have a little bit of recommendations for when you go places. So here again, just some more beautiful photographs there. But it's really great because it does talk about like different cities that you can visit throughout France and recommendations for places to eat. So it's a really just great travel guide. And of course, when you go to France, it really is all about the food because the food is amazing. And this is just a little helpful guide on your journeys. We have it for other countries as well, but here I am just sharing with you France. So there you go.
I'm on mute. I like the style of that. Is it a little bit different for Lonely Planet?
It is. It's actually a new series. It's been out for about a year now. So we have like Italy, Japan, France coming out. So it's a little different. It's a little unique.
Yeah.
Just any little bit of extra help that we can give to our travelers.
Yeah. I like it. It looks like it's more of a instead of a tradition, it's like more bloggy or whatever you want to say. It's got more. Yeah. I like it.
Some useful
like it.
help.
Okay, Andrea, lightning round.
I want to talk about A Spoonful of Sun from Gestalten. And that's one of our German publishers of note. They do a lot of, they do oversized coffee table gift books in the fields of art, travel, and also the culinary arts. And this is out tomorrow, hardcover at $60, and it's basically a coffee table book, a coffee table cookbook, basically with recipes adhering to the guidelines of the Mediterranean diet, and with just incredible. I mean, like obviously the photographs are amazing. So it gives you a sense of like the Mediterranean lifestyle through the photographs and these gorgeous,
Those photos are amazing.
Yeah. And, that's what they do. And so did I say that they also publish into they do like travel publishing, but in like, the big oversized coffee table format too, but they do great work. And this is A Spoonful of Sun, and this is in stock at Warwick's. And how can you not want to buy this for yourself or a cook in your life? So
looks like a great gift book.
Yep.
To give somebody as a gift or to receive as a gift.
And I do like how we didn't all call up this morning and say, what are you wearing and what book are you talking about? But we've all like been on this nice little,
I know, lots of synergy going on.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it. All right, Gabe.
I'm going to take you into the world of
great
the
cover.
Chinese diaspora. We Two Alone by Jack Wang. Short stories. This is the paperback. We published a hardback a year ago. And this is from our imprint Via, which is our works in translation that we import from all around the world. This has got a great introduction by what's his name, who did the Viet Thanh Nguyen, who did the Dissonant. Anyways, he won the Pulitzer and the Booker for the same book. So good, strong literary figure from the Bay Area, and Jack lives up in the Bay Area. And these are stories that talk about, they take place over the span of probably over 100 years. And it's all about Chinese immigration to Japan, Chinese immigration to the States, Chinese immigration to Europe, Australia, all over the place. The periods of time are all over the map, as I said, over the last 100+ years. And just a really strong collection of stories that are interconnected by the subject, but each one very individualized and just really well told. I'm a big fan of short stories. We're starting to see short stories work, and this book, as I said, didn't take off for us as we wanted it to, but it's been bought into a handful of different languages. So people are recognizing that it's a strong collection. So give it a look. It's out in paperback, amazing jacket,
It's a great package.
which helps. It could be a nice tag on present at the holidays.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
easy
I'm
gift.
becoming a fan of the short story more than I used to myself. I've found that I can actually read. I'll read a short story in between when I'm picking up and putting down a novel. I love it because then
break off a little bit.
Yeah.
Completely different.
completely different. I was reading. I think I told you last week, Andrew. I was reading yours, cat brushing, in between stuff. I love that. So
Yep.
Great.
okay, yeah, that's a good one. It's not coming for a while though, so we'll talk about it later. Okay, Tom, take us home.
Okay, this is a very easy final book. It is the final girl support book by Grady Hendrix, on sale tomorrow in paperback. He's one of our hottest authors. There's no hotter horror writer right now than Grady Hendrix. He's the author of Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. And so in the final girl support group, I mean, he's also funny, obviously. So this is this is a group of final girls who get together to support each other. And then of course, one of them disappears. So it's funny, smart, and scary and I'm not a horror reader, but I really devoured this book. And he has a new book coming, How to Sell a Haunted House, in January. He's got a knack for titles for sure. But if there's anyone you know who is it all, if they love horror novels, they've probably already read it. But if they haven't, definitely they would love this. But I don't think you have to be a horror reader to love his books.
Right.
They're scared, but they are scary as well as being funny and very smart, like very aware of the tropes that he's playing with.
Yeah. No, I haven't read that one, but I read the Southern Guide to Book Club.
Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires.
Slaying Vampires. And so while they're horror, it's not like traditional horror. I mean, it's just like, because there's like there are some laugh out loud funny stuff that happens. I mean, he kind of.
And there's another writer who I really like called Stephen Graham Jones. Have you ever read?
Yes, he's more horror. He's
more true horror.
Yeah.
But they're both really good novelists also.
Yes.
In general. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like Stephen Graham Jones has got like a literary
right.
Yes.
ability.
Yes.
I mean, like if you stripped away the genre stuff, the writing is still amazing.
Stellar.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. But Grady's, I love it. So okay,
really
that
good.
was a good week of reads. There's lots of good stuff in there this week, everybody. I love it.
I'm gonna join everyone.
We've already talked to Tom's got glasses. What's happening here?
Just thought I would join everyone in the glasses.
What's happening?
Even the
I can barely see out of these things.
What's happening? I love it. All right. We've talked about the events. You guys did all my job for me this week and talked about events that are coming up. So I don't even have to say anything about that. I think we only have one virtual event this week with Brandon Webb. He's one of our, he used to live here in San Diego. Good guy. So check us out virtually on that. With that, everybody, thanks. Another great week. See you all next Monday. Bye.
Bye.